Hey there, and welcome back to some Elden Ring. Now, we are going to be moving into the Altus Plateau, like actually doing things in this video. But it's been a while since we've checked in with folks here in the Roundtable hold. So I figured we should probably go ahead and do that, like just to, make sure everybody's kind of doing the same if they have anything to add since we've done stuff, right?
I've been waiting for
And
your
there you go.
return. I've decided to leave the Roundtable hold. I'm off in search of a noble scholar known as the Gold Mask.
It's from the intro.
To beg his instruction. We may not meet again for some time. If there's any incantation.
Alright, so he's out. He's looking for the Noble Gold Mask, which is one of the, I would say, legendary tarnished we hear about in the opening cinematic. The ever-brilliant Gold Mask, which fits with his thing of scholarly, right? Like, wants to learn from him. Oh no, Rajir. Oh, but I think he's succumbing to the Death Blight, which is... It really sucks. Sucks. Rajir's bro. That's what we're doing right now. Let's see. About the secret medallions. Find the Alban Arc Woman. Alright, we did that. Rykard, right?
He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors.
I see. Company of Inquisitors. Alright, so... Oh, alright. So, right. If he has a company of Inquisitors, a appalling battle and entirety of the shattering, he committed the grave sin of blasphemy.
Marking himself as an enemy.
Okay, so right, so now that makes more sense when we learn about Volcano Manor and like the recusants and how they're against the Erdtree. So we can see he like aligned himself with that. Oh, back during the shattering, but he has a company of Inquisitors. So there's some of the Inquisitor stuff like we have that we learn, like they kind of follow the two fingers and stuff. And as far as like weeding out traitors among like the tarnished and things. So those abductor virgins, I imagine they would be out and about and like collect things for torture, for Inquisition, right? Unless there's another motive for it now too, right? Maybe. Now, since we're going into the capital, let's hear about Morgoth again.
The grace given is Lord of Landale,
Grace
the capital
given.
city.
Okay.
It lies at the foot of the earth, but the two fingers forbid us until we've acquired enough.
All right, well, we've got enough to repair the Elden Ring, so two fingers wouldn't let us if we didn't have enough to repair the Elden Ring. That door's open. Let's hold on a second before we go in there. It's definitely worth it to check in with like your hubs and stuff, especially when you feel like you've made big milestones. So like us reaching Altus Plateau is a milestone. So it's good to check back in here and there.
Greetings. Are you here for...
Something you should know. Okay, talk.
I feel like I'm really coming to grips with spirit tuning of late. I can see how and why immortal essence exists. A spirit under the Golden Order. I can understand their yearnings, what they become drawn to. Master Hugh said it himself, actually, that I'm no mere apprentice any longer. Once again, I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Roderica, the certified spirit tuner.
Huh. That's cool. And we got the courtesy. So the mortal essence that exists under the Golden Order, and like why, which I wish you would explain why. Why does it exist under the Golden Order, right? Something we should know, though.
I need to warn you about something. A little while ago, someone started lurking in the wing on the opposite side of the round table. And I can hear, from all the way over there, the howling and wailing of spirits in fear of a curse. I can even hear the repulsive twisted malice in itself. A plethora of spirits in an unceasing cacophony. I can't even imagine. How much suffering inflicted to who knows how many souls. Not even the grafting caused anything like this to happen. You should keep your distance. I know you're strong, but please.
All right. Something bad there. Worse than grafting, too. And grafting was supposed to be, like, pretty cursed, right? About Roderica.
The girl has come a long way. As ever, time and technique have made her stronger. It is good to see. An imprisoned monster does not deserve an apprentice. Or a daughter. But at times, that's precisely what she feels like to me. I've gone soft. And it isn't easy.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I like Hugh stuff and everything. They're all pretty great. All right. Why does the Erdtree look like it's burning in that picture? Right? It's not just me. I mean, I guess it could just be the coloration, right, of like the leaves and stuff, because that is kind of how the leaves look. But it really does look like it's on fire, doesn't it? May I ask a favor?
My dear, might I ask something of you? Could you please find the owner of this dagger and return it to them?
Okay. A weathered dagger. Okay.
A certain person gave it to me as a gift. It's a very precious thing. It must have a special place in the owner's heart. So I would like for the original owner to have it back, if you wouldn't mind.
About the dagger.
I'd like you to find the owner. It's a very
Precious thing, special place in the owner's heart. That sounds kind of,
Date.
you know, anytime you give somebody a dagger, like, oh, it must have a special place in their heart. And yeah, wink, wink. Right. Let's read the description. Maybe it'll tell us something more. Dagger received from Fia, the deathbed companion. She wishes for it to be returned to its rightful owner. It was once a special weapon of gold and silver intertwined, but is now worn down and marred by a black gash. Yeah, you can kind of see there. Gold and silver, gold and silver. There's a few things that kind of tie in gold and silver. Those virgin abductors, though, abductor virgins, they have a lot of kind of gold, silver, like serpents are gold. There's like the baby things it's like holding as being like gold and stuff. So some tie-ins there, right? But there's also somebody else, right? Right here, right? He's got gold and silver armor.
Did you need something else?
Weathered dagger.
Well, what have we here? How did you get your hands on that dagger? Well, that hardly matters. I know very well whose dagger it is. Why don't I return it to them for you? Good work bringing this to me.
Okay, so all right. I guess he'll take care of it for us. That's kind of cool. Nice. We'll go on the other wing now. And it's supposed to be something bad in here, right? And the door has been closed. I mean, it just looks like a library, right? There is absolute mound of bodies. And I mean, look at that one. It's not just like any regular like corpses. Like that's one of those, you know, putrid corpses. The walking ones that spew out nastiness at you, right? That's a lot of them seem like that, actually. You can hear the flies, but look at that dude. The armor is so nasty looking. It looks like tonsil stone things protruding out of the armor, ragged bits of hair on the backside of it. It's like a big sun medallion on the front. Now we have seen a thing like that again. Way back in the beginning, opening cinematic, the loathsome dung eater. Now, why does he have a sun medallion? I don't know. Could be just a reference back to like, if for some reason it makes me think of Solaire, because Solaire in the Dark Souls games had big sun things. But does the sun here have something to do with being, I guess, probably malevolent? Because he's red, right? Like a hostile spirit. But he's not attacking us because we're in the Roundtable hold, and we can talk.
Have you ever felt the curse? With your whole being, the pox upon life itself, feared and despised by all, the reviled blessing. Apparently not. You are but a lamb, a stranger to defilement, ignorant of your own ignorance. You no longer interest me. I've been long without peace. Don't spoil my quietude.
Interesting that this is his piece.
I asked you not to disturb me. Be thankful of the whole serenity. It is all that keeps your death and defilement at bay.
Huh. The reviled blessing. The curse, like corruption. Have we ever known it? Huh. Wonder what he's like talking about. Doesn't seem very nice, so does he? Alright. Altus Plateau. Here we are. Let's follow this road. Let's see where it takes us. It's a very cool zone. I do really like Altus Plateau. Look at these statues. We've seen that in the throne room for what's it called? Stormvale Castle. And it's a lot like some of those other old man statue things, but he doesn't have all the blossoms going on there. It's like flowers blooming around him, and even his staff. Huh. Oh, there's a little camp right here. Oh, Misbegotten. Why are there Misbegotten here? Beats me, right? Like, who knows? See ya. I mean, it could be, right, in Weeping Peninsula, down in Castle Morn. What was their role? They were the servants, and they had rebelled. And that's, you know, what we came into. So maybe these were also kind of like servants of sorts before they decided to rebel. There's like some other bodies there on the ground that I'm gonna have to try and look at. Armor. Big suits of armor. The crests on them. Why do they look familiar? Huh. Lots of armor. I can summon a bird. Or phantom for some reason. But okay. Is that really it? Oh, there's one more dude. Yeah, there's a lot more patrolling over here, right? So what is their deal? Like, why are they over here? These guys were like praying over that way. Praying to who or what though? Huh. Oh, look down there. Okay. Dude, again, look, there's that kind of level design thing where they point you towards things. Look, they're facing that way. And are they looking towards that? So there's something right there for us to check out. How do we get down, though? We got to get way down. Oh, now there's demi-humans. All right, I'm like looking for a path down, and now I'm finding demi-humans. There's a broken cart. I get close to it, and they come out of the bushes and ambush, which is pretty standard. They did that in Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula as well. So, like, it's not too surprising. So it's interesting on these, like, outskirts of the capital, and we can see there's a map here and another map right there. But on the outskirts of everything, we're seeing these, like, these groups that I think are generally pretty looked down upon, right? You know, with demi-humans, the misbegotten, you know, they're seem to be sneered at from like those in the academy. They're the menials, the servants, and stuff like that. So, you know, that they're kind of lurking here on the outskirts is neat. Lux ruins. Doesn't Lux mean light or something like that? Oh, there's one of those beetles. Can I hit him with a fire pot? Got him. Shield crash. That's what I wanted, dude. All right, and there is a way down here. Look at those glowing purple eyes. Demi-human queen Gillica. So those other ones are like sort of like not quite this size ones. They're called chieftains, right? So I would take that as like male, right? And then you get these queens, and look at these like whorls of tattoos. It's, you know, it's very Gaelic. But, like, she starts by using these spells. You know, they're supposed to be able to use magic. They're smart in some way. But then, like, when you start damaging them, she goes, like, savage, right? Oh, where did my counter hit go? She even has a crown, right? But it's like, cowled with chainmail. It's not just, like, oh, non-functional or anything like that, right? It's like a warrior's crown of sorts. But then otherwise for closing, it's pretty bare. I don't know, dude. They're just very bestial, right? Some kind of missing link in between being like human and like beast. Was this a step between like the beastman's like ascension, right? As we see in like some of those bestial incantations. And what is she guarding? A ritual sword talisman. I completely forgot. I had my talismans all messed up. Ritual sword talisman, kind of neat looking. Look, it's got kind of like a woven design. Oh, and it's like a tree going down into the blade itself. Okay. Patterned after swords used in ritual combat, held to honor the Erdtree. Raises the attack power when HP is at maximum. The practice had died out by the age of King Consort Radagon, but remains of the arenas where ritual combat took place can still be found in every land. So this was something before, and who was before Radagon? It was Godfrey. And Godfrey was like I don't want to call him a warlord, but like he led, you know, he was a general. He led a whole host of golden armies. I mean, like Radagon, honestly. But I think the big difference is, why is What happened? Why is he glowing golden like that with purple eyes? What? I've never seen anything like that before. Whoa. Okay. Right, so both of them were like leaders of armies for the Erdtree and Marika. However, Godfrey was sort of like kicked out eventually. He was stripped of his grace, right? And then sent out to leave. Ooh, there we go. So was just, and then Radigan, right? A big difference between them is Radigan seemed to study like sorcery and incantations, because when we get some of the like the Radigan icon, it talked about how he, you know, studied both, you know, under Renala. With Renala, he studied sorceries, and with Marika, he studied incantations. Thus did the warriors strive to be complete. Whereas the Godfrey icon, do I have a, oh no, I don't have a Godfrey icon. No, never mind. I'm saying things I shouldn't know already. But Radigan icon, right? As husband, studied sorcery. Marika, incantations. Thus did the hero aspire to be complete. And see how he has those blooming flowers? Where do we see that as well? On those statues we were just seeing on the pathway, coming up around that old dude in robes. Now we're at the Erdtree Gazing Hill, and we can talk to Melina again. It's been a long time since we've been able to talk to Melina.
The Erdtree is close, only a little further till the foot of the Erdtree, and the accord is fulfilled. It takes me back. I was born at the foot of the Erdtree, where Mother gave me my purpose, though now everything is lost to me. I have to ascertain for myself the reason for which I live, burned and bodiless.
Yeah, so we're back at that again, right?
Turn your runes to strength. Let my hand share them with
There we
you.
are. Yeah, so right, we're back to that. Burned and bodiless. So how does she get burned? How is she bodiless? It also explains why she's a spirit, right? Because a lot of our spirit ashes, like that, they're ashes that we summon into spirits. So there's a connection there. But she was born at the foot of the Erdtree, where her mother gave her purpose. So like maybe she's hoping to find her mother there. Maybe it'll trigger some memories, kind of like how Millicent can't, like she's trying to remember these like memories, and you know, she went back to the shack, to Gowry's shack, where you know, that dude, like he was like kind of like a father to her, I guess, an adoptive father. And oh, look at that. And you know, she's trying to remember these things that she's lost to the past, and she's like trying to find her purpose again, right? And here she is. Look at that. Look at these freaking coincidences, man. We get here at the Erdtree Gazing Hill. We start talking to, you know, Melina about purpose and stuff. And then who do we find here? Freaking Millicent, that we were literally just talking about.
We meet again. Truth, it's been smooth sailing for me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The scarlet rot has stilled since last we met. As such, I've been able to continue my journey. Though rather vexingly, I realized that if I still had my sword arm, I could have aided you in battle.
I mean, she did help us. You did.
Now I'm tracing the path Melania took.
Oh.
After unleashing the power of the Scarlet Rot during her battle with General Radahn in the Caelid Wilds. I should like to meet her. This vanished woman. I think she's in the north, in the lands that lie beyond the Erdtree.
Wonder why she thinks that. I mean, so she, right, Melania unlocked the Scarlet Rot, like the rot bloomed here in our battle against Radahn. And then what was Millicent afflicted by? The Scarlet Rot. So maybe that's why she's like feeling this tie, this like urge to go and follow after her, you know? And there's the Side of Grace. So this one was taking us up here. See how this, the abandoned coffin, would put us kind of up towards here, or the Erdtree Gazing Hill. So we're kind of like moving back here. So it seems like maybe if we were following this along, it would all kind of push us along towards here. Now we're going to try and find that path, because we saw the, yeah, it's over here. So we got to get through this encampment. And then right down here somewhere, there's a jail. And that's where the Misbegotten seem to be looking. So we're going to find that. We got to get through these soldiers and this encampment. And look, there's a different type of armor. Definitely capital armor. Because we have seen a Lanedale Knight before. Outside of the Painter's Shack way back in, what's it called? Way back in Liurnia. There's some of those coffin carts, I guess you might say. There's Seals of the Erdtree. And here is Great Shield Talisman. Very cool. We can totally... That's a good one for us. I probably won't have it equipped right now, but depicts a knight holding a great shield. Boosts guarding. The Knights of Lanedale once modeled themselves after the Tree Sentinels. Their purpose is to protect that which deserves protection, and thus the shield always comes before the sword. Well, we don't actually have to keep pushing into that camp. We're going to go through here. And look how there's like those jellyfish. How they kind of like guard secret areas or sacred areas, right? Because that was another thing we kind of read about them. Is like you find them near like sacred spaces or something along those sacred grounds. And there's these guys. These Royal Revenant worshippers. As well as Vulgar Militiamen. What do Vulgar Militiamen people guard? Things that are... forbidden, bad, things that other people don't want to do. So what is over here that they shouldn't have, right? That we shouldn't have, that other people shouldn't have, and that would maybe also interest these Revenant worshippers. Golden Lineage Evergaol. So somebody from the Golden Lineage, or was it the Golden Lineage's jail for putting people they don't like, right? Which one is it? Who knows? We're just gonna buff ourselves up all the way. My nose is really itchy because of course it is. And it looks like Godric, except it's not. It's Godfroy the Grafted. One of the lazier. Yeah, I mean it's literally just Godric fight. It's really annoying. That's what it is. But there is some I like some of the ideas that come with the fight because it basically tells us that if you ignore that it's literally the same moveset, same model and stuff, it tells us that grafting did not originate with Godfrey, or not Godfrey, with Godric, right? It came from somewhere else, an older source, I would say, right? Since this is a Golden Lineage jail. And it's interesting that most of the big examples we have so far of grafting are, you know, examples of the Golden Lineage. They're people from there. So it's like something they did, you know, not really others per se, like maybe others did. But it definitely, it's kind of telling that it shows up in two places. And down he goes at last. What do we get? The Godfrey icon. Look at that Golden Lineage stuff, right? And as we get the Godfrey icon, what do we see right there? A big statue of Godfrey. So it's a legendary talisman depicting the Elden Lord Godfrey. Raises charge attack power of sorceries, incantations, and skills. Godfrey was a ferocious warrior. When he vowed to become a lord, he took the beast regent Serosh upon his back to suppress the ceaseless lust for battle that raged within. So, is the reason we get this from this guy, was it simply that he was holding on to an heirloom of like the Golden Lineage? Or is it because when like he took this, you know, the beast regent Serosh on his back, was it a form of grafting? And that's why we get it from another like guy who performed grafting. And that's like why it ties in so much with the Golden Lineage, it seems, is because they're grafting things together. It just feels like an odd thing that somebody like Godfrey is like a ferocious warrior. It's like, because grafting feels almost like some kind of weird arcane, you know, almost magical art in a way, you know, ritualistic. And I mean, not saying warriors can't do different like ritualistic actions and be like diverse and stuff. But it does feel strange to me that it might be something he was like known for or able to do. But we don't actually have anything that says that yay, nay, like that is what he did. It could also be that it was like completely twisted and turned around, corrupted in some fashion, right? Looks like I could have just climbed down from over here. I didn't have to go way around everything. Shoot. I do have a little bit of like kind of tinfoil hat moment here for us, right? Okay, so put on your tinfoil hat here, right? So what do we find here? Golden Lineage Evergaol. What do we find? Godfrey the Grafted. He's basically Godric, but he did grafting. He was assembling all these different body parts and things onto himself to make himself stronger, is what we can assume. What is outside of it? One, vulgar militiamen, because they guard things that are, forbidden and dirty and things people don't want to do. But there's also those like revenant worshippers, which there's the bell thing that we can see right here, used by worshippers of revenants, and they summon rays that are vengeful spirits of those who died cursed. But what is a revenant? Well, we find those royal revenant dudes. There's like 2 main spots we end up fighting some, right? We fought one way down here in the Lasciar ruins. Big multi-armed dude with like a crown, multi-leg, like all kinds of crazy limbs. A lot like grafted scions and Godric, right? Now, there is a video, and this is taking a couple steps outside of like what we know in the video game, right? Some of the coding with them is known as like what was it? Like pupa or something along those lines, right? They're like a stage, right? In some kind of transformation process, right? So there's another thing that kind of mentions that. Way back in Stormhill Shack, we have Roderica, who talks about how their arms and legs are cut off, become like little chrysalis, right? And a chrysalis is just like an in-between stage of like a caterpillar or whatever before it transforms into something else. And so when we go into Stormvale Castle, what do we find in there? There's like the sites of grafting. We see all the bodies of Tarnished that Godric has been, defiling and ruining and taking limbs from in order to create grafted scions to graft onto himself. We see the body of the troll, right? But all the bodies are wrapped up in cloth and tied up, and they look a lot like little cocoons or chrysalis, right? Now, with the royal revenants being something like, pupa things or transforms, whatever the name is, I'd have to go and check it out. I can figure out what the name was again. But I'm like, is that some kind of side effect? Like, are the royal revenants the result of like people being grafted or taking things from them, and that they eventually become something along those lines? Because like, unlike say the grafted scion or Godric himself, who look like they really look like things have just been stuck onto them, and you could see like the division in the limbs and where they go and stuff. When you get a good look at the royal revenants, it's literally like it's actually a part of their body, like it's kind of like natural, you know what I mean? And so it almost feels like, yeah, it is like a natural growth, they did transform. So that's sort of my weird kind of tinfoil hat connection thing, is that somehow people getting their limbs taken and stuff become chrysalis, which turns into something like the royal revenant. Don't know. I just thought it was interesting. That's it though. Thanks for watching, guys. First steps in here, we met Millicent. Interesting things from Melina. Found the golden lineage Everjail. We're going to keep going. We need to get the map and stuff so we can see better. So yeah, until the next one, take care.